from North Carolina is recognized for 4 minutes.
Madam Chairman, I rise in support of H.R. 2804, the ALERRT Act, and I'd like to thank Chairman Goodlatte and Chairman Baucus and the gentleman from Georgia, Mr. Collins, for their hard work and contributions to making this legislation better. In my district in North Carolina, small businesses are a primary driver of the economy. The businesses, like many across the country, are being harmed by excessive regulations. Excessive regulations mean lower wages for workers, fewer jobs, and higher prices for consumers. And oftentimes, Madam Chairman, small businesses are not given enough notice of how new regulations will affect their everyday operations. They're faced with tough decisions, whether to cut workers' hours or wages or adjust their business plan elsewhere. That's why I introduced the ALERRT Act, to ensure the administration publishes its regulatory agenda in a timely manner and provides annual disclosures about planned regulations, their expected costs, final rules, and the cumulative regulatory costs in general. During President Obama's first term, our nation's cumulative regulatory cost burden increased by $488 billion. Compounding the problem, this administration has failed to make public, as required by law, the effects of new regulations in a timely and reasonable manner. The administration is required to submit a regulatory agenda twice a year, but they have consistently failed to do so on time. And you'll recall, Madam Chairman, that in 2012, the administration made neither disclosure, which was required by law, until December, after the general election. This deprived voters of the opportunity to see how proposed regulations would increase prices for household goods, lead to stagnant wages, and decreased job opportunities. This is important when federal regulations already place an average burden of almost $15,000 per year on each American household. That's not a burden that folks in this economy, or really any economy, should have to bear. Madam Chairman, this bill is not about shutting down the regulatory process, but about providing much-needed sunlight and transparency. It requires monthly online updates of information on planned regulation and their expected costs, so everyone who is going to be affected can know in real time and how to plan for the regulation's impacts or how to cast their vote. The ALERRT Act is comprehensive reform that promotes economic growth, takes steps towards the reform of the regulatory system, and to provide the government accountability that our citizens deserve. And I yield back.